always, even in college, undergrad, growing up I was very active in the sense where I danced. I never played sports, but I was always moving around. I was always pretty like active in that sense. So going to the gym was something that I was doing even in undergrad. But you know, at that time it was like going to the gym and doing these little cute exercises, not really knowing what I was doing, just not really like zoning in on exactly what I needed to do for my body type. Not eating right. I was still eating fast food, pizza, Wendy's. Just a lot of those poor habits combined with going to the gym wasn't enough. So in grad school, this was exactly June 2016, I met this gentleman, and he went to school with me, and I would always see him in the gym. And he said to me one day, he said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, I was a little offended because I'm like, "I'm working out. What do you mean?" He was like, "You know, I see you come here all the time, but I just feel like you could do so much more." And he was like, "You ever considered having a personal trainer?" And I was like, "You know, that would be well and nice, but I'm a broke college student. I don't have money for that." So he actually, what he ended up doing for me was offering to train me for 3 months and for free. But he said all you had to do is show up, work hard, and I will train you for 3 months and I will get you where you need to be. And since that experience, I showed up. I think we trained together 3 to 4 times for the week. He just put me on a regimen. He put me on a meal plan because I wasn't necessarily like a really big girl or anything. I was 10 pounds heavier than this, and I was a lot softer, so I wasn't as lean as I am now. I wasn't as strong. You know, from looking at me, you wouldn't think that there was anything wrong, but I was unhealthy, truth be told. So I still had a flat stomach, but there was a lot of loose skin. There was just a lot of things that needed to be corrected, and you know, he saw that and he had faith in me, and he helped carry me through this process. So for 3 months we trained, and I stuck with it. At the end of the day, it's about how bad you wanted it. At that point, I wanted it bad. And I was at the end of my grad school career. I was preparing to graduate, gonna get into the work world. So I was like, what better time to be in like bomb shape and have my master's degree? I'm just gonna be the it girl, right? So for me, that's how I was thinking about it. And that was enough to motivate me. That was the motivating factor. So thank you, Nana, for helping me. I always tell him that I shout him out anywhere when people ask me about this. So yeah, it was at that point when I was working with him where I really found myself as far as fitness goes. And you know, embarking on that fitness journey not only helped me in my body, but it helped me in my mind, because 80 to 90% of this is mental. So yeah, that's where I started. For someone who's just starting their fitness journey, one thing that I really would emphasize is that, you know, use everyone that is around you, at least on social media, and that's just like generally a quick means of, you know, tapping into becoming motivated or inspired. There's so much inspiration around us on social media. I mean, like, you know, for me personally, a lot of people reach out to me and tell me, like, you know, when I see a workout video or that you do, or I see something that you post even on your story, it's just a very motivating thing for me. So I would just suggest anyone to start there. Just follow a few influencers or fitness enthusiasts that you really, you know, gravitate towards, or that you even really relate to. It doesn't have to be someone who's on Instagram with, you know, these crazy amount of numbers. Just find someone that you can relate to and whose work that you actually respect. Because there's a lot of fraudulent behavior on social media, but there's also a lot of genuine, dope, amazing people who I've actually met through social media. So use social media as a way of just really tapping into what you kind of want to go towards, what your kind of goals are. I'm big on not calling other people your body goals. I think that you should want to be your own body goals, because then you get caught up into looking exactly like someone else, and that's just not the way the world works. You know, we're all made up just uniquely, so just use other people's work as inspiration. And another thing that's really important to do is I use a lot of motivational talks on YouTube. So I listen to every morning I make it a habit to listen to something that, you know, feeds my soul, feeds my mind, right? Because life is just chaotic, and as soon as you step outside your house, you know, you kind of see all of this chaos going on. So you have to like become peaceful inside, and by doing that, listening to this motivational talk, you know, these are people like Eric Thomas, Inky Johnson, Les Brown. Listen to Diddy, I listen to Jay-Z, I listen to Beyonce. So anything where they're talking about their personal experiences, or you know, how they, you know, become these successful, well-rounded, dynamic people, that has helped me integrate those habits into my lifestyle. So, you know, YouTube is very useful, Instagram is useful, listen to podcasts. Oprah has good podcasts that I really like to listen to, which are really good for women, and speaking on like the experience of being a woman and how you really can come into owning your own, you know, feelings, and how, you know, you go about your daily life. Plans and what I eat is the biggest question that I get on social media. So usually, I personally, just to start, I don't have a huge diet. Like, I don't have a huge appetite, sorry. I don't need to eat really big meals. I eat very small portions, but that's just because that's how my body is. I don't need a whole lot of food to fulfill me. So typically I eat 3 to 4 meals a day. So for breakfast, it's usually oatmeal. If I don't eat oatmeal, I'll have, you know, I'll have a Nutriment bar, and I'll have a banana. So my breakfast meals are pretty small. Sometimes I'll have some boiled eggs. I'll take out the yolk, like 3 to 4 of them. So that's breakfast, and then I'll have a snack in the middle of the day before lunch. Lunch is usually like 12. So for snack, what I usually like to snack on are like rice cakes. I'll eat another Nutriment bar. Sometimes I'll have like almonds or peanuts, things like that, or eat fruits. I'll snack on some fruits. And then for lunch, I'll have a protein, and then I'll have some carbs and a lot of vegetables. So usually what I do is my chicken is either grilled chicken, stewed chicken, something of that nature. I'm Jamaican, so I still need my flavor. So I'll have that with some vegetables. But the key that I make sure to incorporate in my meals is more vegetables than carbs. So the rice serving is usually this small. Yeah, this small. So rice serving is small, and then the vegetable portions are usually bigger, because the vegetable, whether people believe it or not, vegetables fill you up, and they can absolutely taste good. So just, you know, just make sure when you're making your foods that you know, you spice it up a little, whatever you need to be. Vegetables can taste really good. So that's lunch, and then for dinner, it's pretty much like sort of the same thing. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. The key is just moderation. People, do not sit with a whole plate of rice, especially my Caribbean people. Like, we just can't do that anymore. So if you really want to like lose weight, those carbs, those rice, those breads, that's really what sticks to your body. So if you eat bread, if you like bread a lot, eat wraps instead. So I used to like bread a lot, especially as a college student. So I'll eat tuna wraps, turkey wraps, things like that. So no more of the corner store sandwiches. They gotta go. Sorry. And yeah, dinner is pretty much the same. Like, really, fish and vegetables. If I need rice, I'll get the rice, but if not, there's no rice. I'll go to the Jamaican spot and I'll ask them for just chicken and vegetables. You can totally do that. You do not need the rice with the meal, and it'll be the same price. So that's just how I live. I live a very balanced you know, diet as far as food comes. I'll have a cheat meal once on the weekend, only because I am at this point. When I was dieting with my trainer, which I had mentioned earlier, there was no cheat meals. So, and a cheat meal is just a meal, not a cheat day. So just that one meal, and you just have to really exercise control over, like, portion size is just the key. Drink a lot of water, so no sugars, no soda, no juices. I don't drink none of that, so it's just straight water. I drink protein shakes after my workout. So yeah, things like that are pretty much what I eat. My food intake is very basic. I eat for survival and for the gains. I really don't eat for like flavor most times unless I'm going out. You know, if I'm going to a nice restaurant, I'm gonna have something that's pretty enjoyable, but I really don't need a lot to satisfy my, you know, my appetite. Pizza. No, pizza is my favorite cheat meal. Pasta. I love a good burger and fries. You know, pretty basic too. You know, that's like my American side. I'm a social drinker, so I drink when I go out. I make it only a habit to go out on the weekend. So now I tell my friends, no late-ing in the week. We're not going out because that's gym time, and I'm not drinking and going out. There's no happy hour for me. Like, that's just personally my lifestyle. You can totally still go out with your friends and have a good time and just not drink. But again, this is all mental. That's why you have to feed your mind. That's why you have to discipline yourself and tell yourself, this is what I want, so this is what I'm not going to do. Currently, I work out 5 to 6 days for the week. The minimum will be 5 days for the week, just because, you know, there's a point in my life right now where I'll feel guilty if I don't go to the gym at least 5 days for the week. But that's where I'm at now. I'm not saying that everyone has to do this. It's sort of an addiction at this point, and it's the greatest addiction you can have, in my opinion. So I work out 5 to 6 days a week, and typically what I do is I do split workouts now. And I incorporate HIIT cardio into that regimen. So what split workouts are is that on Monday, say on Monday I'll do back, legs, and arms. Then on Tuesday I'll do glutes, quads, and shoulders. You know, so I'm breaking up the body into segments where each part is getting enough love, or I'll work on more of my problem areas. So back has maybe 2-3 days out the week, because who doesn't want a nice back? Legs, I probably do legs, try to do legs like almost every day. So the big areas that I really want to emphasize and work on, I incorporate them in some way almost every day. But then like the other areas, like my shoulders, my arms, they'll just get in like maybe once or twice a day. So I create that regimen, literally have one in my phone. Write things down too, because that really helps you, what you're going to work on. Going to the gym with a plan. So within those days also, at least 2 to 3 days out the week, I incorporate HIIT cardio. And what HIIT cardio is, it's high intensity interval training. And really what it does is that it's you doing cardio for a period of maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but it's fast paced, it's quick, minimal rest breaks, and your body is just constantly moving. You're doing a lot of dynamic movements, so that's like burpees, jump squats, ball slams, push-ups, and you would do that in intervals. So you would do it for 30 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, 30 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. And that really is what gets your heart rate moving, and that's how you burn fat more efficiently, as opposed to running on the treadmill for like 30 minutes at, I don't know, a slow speed. So I like to just be active and constantly be moving, and so the HIIT cardio is really what, you know, saves me as far as staying lean, also keeping my curves, because I'm not shedding a ton of calories. I'm just shedding enough for me to, you know, burn off like unnecessary fat, or just even maintain my body where it's at. So a lot of people ask me, how do I maintain my curves? For starters, genetics has a lot to do with this, guys. You know, for me personally, I didn't have to build up a whole lot of like curves, because I was naturally shaped a certain way. So my waist was always smaller and my thighs were always bigger, but the thighs were one thing I needed to tone, you know, get away that cellulite and that unnecessary fat. So in order for me to maintain it now, what I do is HIIT cardio is very essential for that, the fat burning, as I mentioned, lifting heavy weights. So obviously you're not going to go into the gym right away and start lifting heavy weights, but you know, squatting, you know, 135 at how many ever reps is really crucial to building. But basically what you're doing when you're lifting heavier is you're bulking the muscle up. So that substitutes for the fat that wasn't there, so now the muscle bulk is bigger. But just truth be told, muscle can get but so big, right? So if you shed a lot of fat and you build the muscle back up, there's but so much, you know, weight you're really gonna get. So I am less curvy than I was before, but you know, I still am able to maintain my curves, because you know, that's just my makeup, that's just how everything was set up for me. But definitely by you have to really think about what your goals are as far as your body and what you want yourself to look like. And then based upon that, then you just tailor your workouts. Okay, you do less HIIT cardio because you don't want to burn that much fat, but you just want to build up your legs. And building up that muscle with heavier weights, whether it's you squatting weights or whether you're using weights on a machine, the key is just to really lift heavy. Abs every day, absolutely. There's a lot of like controversy surrounded by this. If you look up in like the workout world, like a lot of people say you shouldn't work on your abs every day, but I ain't had no problems with that, so I'm gonna keep doing that. You know, just when I say I work on my abs every day, also you have to keep in mind that there are different types of ab exercises. There's functional ab exercises, meaning you're using your own body weight. So a lot of the times I'll do leg raises, and that's like, you know, that's a whole different ball game than for me doing a weighted ab exercise where I'm using a weighted ball that's like 15 pounds and I'm moving it around doing Russian twists or something like that. So it's different, it's levels to the ab exercises that you do. You could just lay on the floor and do a few crunches. That's just how my abs stay shredded and like nice and bulked how I wanted them to be. So for me it works, and there is nothing wrong with it as long as you're not, you know, overexerting your abs every single day. So right now where Coco Fitness is at, I pretty much successfully launched my first Coco Fit Total Body Camp in January, and these were one of the pamphlets that we're giving out to the girls. It's right now it's a women's only class, and it's offered once a month. Where I see Coco Fitness going is, you know, there's going to be definitely some apparel coming soon, some accessories. The first one that I do have is my Coco Fitness towel. So another thing that happens as well is that when you come to my class, you know, there's the little perks that you get. You get some free gear, you get different tips, like I said again, with the meal plans that I gave out. So these were, you know, just different recommendations for people to incorporate into their lifestyles. You know, hopefully Coco Fitness will be traveling across the U.S. and hosting camps in Miami, Florida, California, Texas. I don't know, I got a lot of requests about where I should be going, so, you know, in the future, that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I would love to get into online classes, online coaching. Right now, I do have a website, cocofitcamp.com, and on there, you could really learn about what the fit camps are about. Eventually, there will be opportunities for you to purchase merchandise that is coming, but for now, it's really at the start. Here are a few fun and effective workouts that you can do at home. First, we're going to start with the suitcase crunch, then we're going to move on to some suicide planks, and then we're going to do some body weight squats for those glutes. Thank you, Dear Ambitious Girl, for having me. I am an ambitious girl.